You know the usual ones. The Glocks, the Sigs, the Hellcats. They dominate every carry list, get every click, rack up every view. But every time someone copies the same list, what happens? You end up carrying the same gun as your buddy, and when your gear is predictable, you become predictable. This list, it flips the script. These are the CCW pistols that flew under the radar. The ones you probably haven't seen in Instagram posts, the ones big brands don't market hard because they don't need to, because what they deliver won't show in a polished photo. It shows when the lights go out, holsters hang heavy, budgets shrink, and trust is everything. So if you're done carrying what everyone else carries, if you want something different that still holds up when it matters, stay with me. Your next CCW might surprise you. You ever hear a gun walk into a bar and change the fucking menu? That's the Sig P365. This wasn't just a micro 9mm, this was the pistol that flipped the concealed carry world upside down in one night. Before the P365, you were stuck choosing between small and useless or big and obvious. Then Sig came in, dropped a 10+1 capacity in a pocket-sized gun, and every single company went into panic mode. Glock? They had nothing. S&W? Scrambling. Hell, even Sig wasn't ready for the storm they just created. And the crazy part? This thing actually shot good. Crisp trigger, dead on sight, easy to draw, and just enough bite and recoil to remind you you're carrying something real. This was the first time dudes started leaving their Glock 26 in the safe and strapping this on instead. It didn't just sell, it converted people. And if you think 10+1 in a micro frame was wild, now they've got XLS, X macros, and optic ready versions all branching off this OG beast. But the P365 itself, that's the carry gun that started a damn revolution, and every CCW lineup in 2025 still bows down to it. Let me tell you something. The Canik Mete MC9 wasn't supposed to shake the CCW market this hard, but it did. This little beast showed up like the new guy at the range nobody takes seriously until he outshoots a lot of them. It's slim, it's smart, and it's packing a trigger that feels like it belongs on a full-sized competition gun. That's the part that throws people off. You expect average, but what you get is jaw-dropping performance for the price. This ain't just another budget compact. This thing was built from the inside out to fight its way into holsters across America, and it's doing it. Turkish made, yes, but don't get it twisted. This isn't some cheap knockoff. It's been drop tested, stress tested, torture tested, and real shooters keep reporting one word: surprised. You want a carry gun that's fast on the draw, steady under pressure, and won't cry foul after 1,000 rounds? The MC9 ain't asking for permission, it's earning its spot one dead center hit at a time. And wait till you see what shows up at lucky number 10. You want to know what's dangerous? A gun that never announces itself, never flexes, never fails. That's the M&P Shield Plus. It doesn't need flashy logos or even a viral fan base to prove its worth. This thing is lethal silence, purpose-built for people who aren't playing pretend with their carry. Smith & Wesson took everything that worked in the OG Shield, reliability, slim profile, clean brake trigger, and made it smarter. More ammo? Done. 13+1 rounds with barely any added bulk, better grip texture, locked in. That stippling locks your hand down even if you're sweating bullets. And the flat face trigger? It's not just a marketing term, it breaks like a glass rod and resets like a dream. It's one of the few pistols where first-timers and veterans both walk away impressed. Slight finish holds up, internals don't fail, and it feats everything from cheap steel case to premium hollow points without a hiccup. For CCW, it's one of those rare pistols that feels like it was built for you and not for Instagram. But the next gun, it's got something the Shield never dared to try, and that makes all the difference. Nobody brags about carrying a Kahr, and that's exactly why it belongs on this list. The CW9 wasn't made for gun influencers or weekend show-offs. It's the kind of pistol that disappears into a beat-up IWB holster, gets dragged through summers of sweat, and still fires like the first time. Slim, simple, and deadly. This thing doesn't care about your attachments, it is the attachment. The trigger, long pull, no surprises. That's not a flaw, it's insurance. You won't yank a shot under stress, you'll commit to it. And the size? It's like a shadow. Single stack, no wasted space, nothing to snag when you're reaching fast under a jacket or a shirt. This isn't a pistol for fun. It's for that one moment when everything goes wrong at a gas station, parking lot, or front porch. And when it happens, the CW9 doesn't ask questions, it just goes to work. You ever carry a pistol so cheap you expect it to fail? That was me with the Dagger Micro. Got it on sale, thought it'd jam by around 30. I was wrong. It wasn't just reliable, it ran clean, hard, and fast through over 500 rounds that day. No hiccups, no misfeats. It ate steel case, brass, hollow points like it was starving. The real kicker? I didn't even clean it first. Right out of the box, zero lube, and still outshot a buddy Sig on the same range. It felt honest. Rough grip, solid click in the trigger, and a frame that didn't feel like it came from a toy bin. The red dot I mounted held 0 after 3 drops. No slide bite, no weird cycling, just pure dirty aggression in a tiny frame. Nobody takes it seriously until they shoot it, and then they start asking questions. You're gonna want to hear what's next, because it's only gonna get nastier. A guy at a Florida gas station once found himself one wrong look away from being mugged. Late night, hood half pulled, 2 guys circled his truck. He stepped out to pump and instantly felt it. That twitch in the air when something's about to go sideways. He didn't pull the Hellcat, he didn't have to. Just the way his hand rested on his waistband. They saw the outline and they bolted. That's what the Hellcat does. It's not about showing off, it's about being ready. 13 plus 1 rounds in something barely thicker than your phone. No optics, still quick to draw. The U-notch rear side lines up smooth, even with sweaty hands and a heartbeat hammering in your throat. This isn't just a pistol for the range. It's a carry demon built to disappear and reappear when you need it most. It's not the softest shooting thing on the market, but nobody carrying it ever said they regretted it. And trust me, the one at number 9 might just punch harder in ways the Hellcat never could. It's the pistol that practically defined modern deep concealment. The Glock 43 isn't just carried, it's trusted by more undercover cops and plainclothes agents than half the flashing Micro 9s we keep hearing about. Why, you ask? Because it does one thing right every single time. It disappears until you need it not to. This isn't a gimmick gun with optic cuts and rainbow slides. It's a pure CCW warrior, slim enough to vanish under a tank top, yet deadly serious when it's drawn. 6+1 might sound outdated, but that's just ignorance talking. When the first shot counts more than that capacity, the 43 delivers. Fast, smooth, and snag-free. No failure drills, no guesswork. I've seen Glock 43s run after years of daily carry abuse, pocket lint and all. If you don't think this is a top-tier carry gun in 2025, you're lying to yourself. It still owns its lane, and the next pistol might be the most surprising comeback in the CCW world yet. You know what happens when a company finally stops listening to the marketing team and starts building for real-world carry? You get the Ruger Max 9. Not the flashiest or the loudest, but this thing hits like it's pissed off. The first time I put 300 rounds through one at a gravel pit in monsoon season, it didn't hiccup even once. While a guy next to me was clearing jams out of his optic-ready Micro 9 that cost nearly double. The Max 9 doesn't ask for praise, it just works. Slim as hell, built-in optic cut, steel sights that don't sunk, and a grip texture that doesn't sand off your skin but stays locked even when soaked in sweat. And here's what kills me. Most folks walk past it in the shop like it's invisible. Now that's a mistake, because this gun was never meant to pose, it was meant to end fights, quietly, quickly, and without fail. Most folks snub their nose at Taurus, but let me tell you what happened in my buddy's range day last month. A guy showed up late, all cocky with a $1,200 red dot wonder gun. Meanwhile, the quiet kid next to him pulls out a Taurus GX4. Everybody expected the budget piece to choke, but guess what? The high-end jammed twice, and that GX4 just ran. Ran hard, round after round. No misfeats, no failures, just brass flying and heads turning. That's when I stopped ignoring this little devil. It's one of the smallest double-stack 9s out there. Seriously, 11 plus 1 into something that vanishes under a t-shirt? That's not common. The texture gives you bite, the trigger's surprisingly crisp, and it actually looks clean. No weird curves or budget scars. It's the kind of gun you carry not because you're broke, but because you've seen what it can do. And what's wild is, I've seen dealers recommending it over the Shield Plus when someone's on a tight budget. That ain't just value, that's damn near betrayal of brand loyalty. Ready for something even more shocking? Wait till you see what made number 5. The Kimber Micro 9 ain't your everyday striker-fired carry piece. This thing's got style, but more importantly, it's got bite to it. A woman I met at a CCW course last year, former sheriff's deputy, she carried one. She said she didn't trust polymer pistols, said if she was going to bet her life on something small, it had to be metal, hammer-fired, and pointed like her 1911. That's exactly what the Micro 9 does. It brings that old-school 1911 feel in a micro footprint that disappears inside your waistband. Single action only, clean break, short reset. And yeah, it does need a little break-in, but once it's run in, it doesn't stop. It's not for everyone. Some folks will complain it's too snappy or too slick, but the ones who carry it, they've made peace with the recoil, train through it, and walk out the door knowing they've got a real shooter with them. You won't find this pistol on every list, but that's exactly why it belongs on ours. Nicholas swore he'd never switch from his Glock 19, said nothing else felt as natural, but that changed the week he had to make a cross-state run hauling equipment for a buddy, mostly back roads, weird towns, and a whole lot of late-night gas stations. That's when he holstered the Walther PDP Compact and realized what he'd been missing. He told me later it vanished under my hoodie, man, and when that sketchy dude started circling the truck in Memphis, I didn't just feel armed, I felt ready. That's the thing. The PDP Compact doesn't look flashy, but it shoots like a race gun and carries like a pro's backup. The grip texture locks in, trigger is crisp, and that red dot mount, perfectly aligned for fast acquisition under pressure. This isn't the Walther your grandpa collected. It's built for real carry, real response. Nicholas never went back to his Glock since then. He says this thing earned its place in his belt. There's a reason the CZP-10S keeps showing up in serious concealed carry rotations. One shooter switched to it after failing a timed defensive drill with his old EDC. His draw was fine, but the follow-up shots all over the place. That changed with the P10S. The grip angle isn't just comfortable, it locks you in. That low bore axis means you're back on target before the recoil even finishes. And the trigger? Crisp enough that you'll question why you ever settled for anything spongy. This isn't some hyped up polymer toy, It's a brawler made for real-world carry with reliability that's been tested hard. Compact enough to disappear under a t-shirt, but it still shoots like a duty gun. It's the kind of pistol that makes you want to train harder because it keeps up with you. If you've never trusted your current EDC, this is the one that makes you stop second guessing. If you trust anything less for CCW, you're playing games with your life, man. And number 2 might punch even harder. Sometimes trusted pick means showing up when everyone else leaves early. The FN509 belongs to that club. In one field test, a reviewer ran 1,000 rounds of diverse 9mm Luger ammo, brass, steel case, hollow point, and 0 malfunctions. Later, another long-term review found a pistol used for years in a rental line, abused, neglected, and dropped, and still running reliably when most other guns had quit. That's not good for its class, that's reliability in stock form. This is the carry gun someone picks when they've burned through the hype and just need something that'll perform, period. It's not the flashiest micro compact, it's not screaming optics or modded rails, but it handles like it belongs to the serious crowd. Grip that locks in, slight fitment tight enough to keep recoil in check, and a reputation among shooters who demand what the rest can't carry. In 2025, while other pistols chase trends, the FN509 keeps showing up for real work. That's the kind of carry gun you don't brag about, you trust it. If you've seen this pistol and thought, that's a giant for CCW, you're half right, and that's exactly the misjudgment we're exploiting. What if you could strap on something people ignore, and while they're mocking your carry, you're strapped with something that simply won't quit? The PX4 isn't the plastic clickbait micro every influencer flexes. It's hammer-fired, DASA, and set up to do just one thing: deliver first-shot confidence. Reviewers say the rotating barrel system shoves recoil aside like an afterthought. In an era of lightweight overreach and carry custom hyper-focus, the PX4 Storm fronts a design that's built for real carry. Pew Pew articles cover this as an underrated gem for a concealed carry, but can you digest the raw part? Retailers still overlook it. Eyeballs are on micro compacts, and in those blind spots, this pistol thrives. Real story. A shooter picked one because his high-priced carry gun failed at 300 rounds. The PX4 went 1,200 rounds, no magazine interchange, no feed issues. The worst part? You'll hear zero hype, see minimal flex. That's the advantage. If your CCW list is full of the same models everyone else is carrying, maybe that's your problem. This one flips the script. You ever hold a Glock 26 and think, why does this feel like I'm shaking hands with a brick? That's where the Ruger Security 9 Compact walks in, slaps it off the table, and says, let me show you how a carry gun's supposed to feel. Hammer fired? Yep, that's right. While everyone else is busy worshipping their plastic striker-fired saints, this little hammer gun just keeps punching above its weight. The slide's easier to rack, the recoil's milder, and the grip actually fits a human hand. Here's the part nobody wants to admit. This thing runs just as well as your overpriced Wonder 9s, eats every kind of ammo, no drama. And the trigger? Crisp enough to embarrass pistols twice the cost. You can drop double the cash on something tactical, or you can walk out with this and actually have change left for ammo and a holster. But hey, if you like throwing money at brand names, be my guest. The Ruger will still be doing its job when your Gucci gun's back at the shop. Now, everything you've seen so far was 9mm, but let's be honest, not everyone's hands, comfort level, or confidence belongs with 9mm. So how about something leaner, meaner, and just as dangerous in the right hands? Say hello to the Glock 42, the 380 ACP sleeper nobody talks about until they need it. This ain't your budget blowback toy. This is a Glock through and through. Buttery trigger, crisp sight, and jam-proof reliability packed into one of the slimmest CCW packages ever built. You know who carries this? Folks who aren't out to impress, they're out to survive. Whether you're recoil sensitive, dressing light, or just want a pocket-sized backup with Glock-level dependability, this little devil has got your back. Call it overpowered all you want until it's pressed against a threat at bad breath range. Then suddenly, 380 doesn't sound so weak anymore. And let me tell you something. If you're skipping this just because of caliber snobbery, you might be the first one crying when the 9mm stays home and the 42 saves your life. So now you've seen the pistols no one talks about, and that should piss you off a little. Because while the herd is still arguing Glock versus Sig, these sleepers are winning real fights out there. They're riding inside waistband holsters right now, protecting men and women who don't care about trends, they just care about living to see tomorrow. You think every best CCW list got it figured out? Hell no. Half of them haven't even fired 500 rounds through their picks. But we dug deeper into what works off the radar, not hyped, and not what's hyped up by ads. If even one of these pistols made you rethink your carry choice, pause before you close this tab. Drop a comment. What did we miss? What do you carry that nobody else respects? Because the truth is, the best CCW pistol isn't the one everyone knows, it's the one that saves your life when no one's watching. This has been your boy Steve. You've just seen what most won't. Now hit that next video before this edge dulls.